Israeli media say that the war with Iran will start again sooner than expected. Iranian media are reporting major changes in the country's security structure, and the US has instructed its citizens not to travel to Iran. Iran, however, appears to be calm. Khamenei's representative says the war is over and they can no longer attack. The religious scholars consider Trump's life and property to be permissible, and the president of Pakistan's medical community is leaving. This comes as tensions between the United States and Russia are also rising. Hello, welcome to Kabardeh. I am Shakla Shams, and we hear the commentary on this news from my colleague Ahmed Rashad Zarir. Hello, Zarir. What's the latest from Iran and the region?
From the embattled Gaza Strip to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, and from the bustling city of Tel Aviv to the strategic capital of Tehran, the very latest news reports are regrettably less about diplomatic efforts, political discourse and peaceful negotiations, and regrettably more about widespread war and urgent preparations for potential attacks. We are hearing from Iran that media outlets like Fars news agency are saying that preparations for defending Iran are much broader than before. And there is even a possibility that Iran could launch a surprise preemptive attack against Israel. At the same time, we are also hearing from Israel that their preparations for another attack are higher than ever, and the exchanges and procurement of military equipment between Israel, the US and Europe have increased. And on the other hand, today we are witnessing that Mr. Pezeshkian, the president of Iran, is set to visit Pakistan, and there are all sorts of strange details and speculations about this compared to previous visits. And likewise, the United States has instructed its citizens not to travel to Iran, and has even reiterated that any American planning to visit Iran should reconsider. Following this, Mr. Baghaei, the spokesperson for Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, responded to a statement issued yesterday by the United States and 12 European countries, calling the statement ridiculous and baseless. In that statement, it was said that the United States and 12 European countries had reached an agreement. They said that after the 12-day war since the ceasefire, groups they referred to as terrorist, groups supported by Iran, have become very active. And it was stated that in terms of intelligence and espionage, Iran has engaged in what they themselves called undesirable activities. And of course, the United States is also disappointed with the negotiations with Iran.
Zarir, despite Israel's willingness for another war and the fact that the country's media are saying war is imminent, what is their problem?
Channel 12 Israel, which is a very well-known and reputable Israeli media outlet, stated in an analytical report that a war with Iran, or a second round of Israeli and American attacks on Iran, could begin sooner than expected. And according to them, the signs and preparations indicate this. He quoted the chief of staff of the Israeli army as saying that the war with Iran is not over yet. And even at the intelligence level, it is still ongoing. Air Force commanders and pilots have been ordered to be on alert, and additional defensive system equipment is being prepared. Preparations are increasing on two fronts, both for attacking Iran and, since Iran is expected to launch missiles, to further strengthen defensive systems such as THAAD and Iron Dome.
It seems that Iran is establishing a defense council. What do the structural security developments coming out of Iran indicate?
Mr. Larijani, Ali Larijani, who is a senior advisor to Mr. Khamenei and one of the key figures of the Islamic Republic, previously served as the secretary of the country's Security Council. Now, under his leadership, a defense council is set to be established in Iran. Fars news agency, which is close to the Revolutionary Guards, has reported that there will be very significant changes in the security and military structures, especially in the leadership. Given that some anti-Iranian media outlets have recently reported that Iran has become so fearful and anxious about Mossad infiltration that it believes there is an infiltrator or a Mossad spy hiding under every bed. And for this reason, major structural reforms have been introduced in Iran. And it has been mentioned that now they are dividing Iran's military structure into two separate and distinct sections. One section, which they give more importance to, is the defense sector, And even in part of the report, it is mentioned that in the defense sector, there may be readiness to accept, build and use nuclear warheads, move toward nuclear bombs, withdraw from the NPT, and all of this would fall under the responsibilities of the defense sector. In the security sector as well, there is readiness, both domestically and abroad, where they have expressed preparedness for the possibility of war starting and to appear even stronger than in the past.
Zarer, what are the US and Europe saying? Are they still talking about negotiations, or are they, like their allies, preparing Israel for war as well?
After the statements made by Iran, especially by Mr. Arakchi, all the details of his recent remarks, which were very detailed, comprehensive and covered all aspects, were given to Fox News. After this came out, it provoked a reaction from Trump, and Trump and the US government, in fact the entire US administration team, apparently became disappointed with negotiations with Iran. Negotiations with the Troika also yielded no results, and Mr. Trump's recent reaction was that we are hearing very negative messages and signals from Iran. He reiterated this again yesterday. He said that the Iranians are saying bad things and that they shouldn't be making such statements, nor should they even think about uranium enrichment or moving centrifuges and such matters. The Europeans also believe that Iran, through Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis and other groups, is laying the groundwork in intelligence and espionage fields, laying the groundwork to strike its rivals, whether targeting bases, whether American and European bases in the region, or even Israel.
Zahrin, today the president of Iran is going to Pakistan. In these circumstances, can we understand what the main objectives of this trip are and what events the region is anticipating?
The interesting thing about this is that Pakistan is simultaneously playing on two fronts, very cleverly. Pakistan, which had several exchanges with Mr. Trump, especially its president and interior minister, had these exchanges. They had meetings with the Americans. The foreign ministers of Pakistan and the United States contacted each other several times and made commitments to cooperate. At the same time, relations between the US and Pakistan and with Iran warmed up. The Prime Minister of Pakistan went to Tehran, they signed a series of agreements together, and there were other such developments. Now, what's interesting here? The commander of CENTCOM, the 12-day war with the US and Israel, the 12-day war played a very significant role for the US and Israel militarily. Just yesterday, Asif Ali Zardari, the president of Pakistan, awarded him a very prestigious medal, and at the same time, he is in Pakistan while Mr. Pezeshkian is traveling to Pakistan. Some analysts, two of whom I spoke with just yesterday, on Thursday, believe that Pakistan is now playing a very dangerous role and is giving the US a hand in weakening Iran from within. And one of those analysts even said that it's possible when the Iranian president travels to Pakistan that they might equip his plane with GPS and similar intelligence devices and then target it for an attack in Iran. Of course, this is just an analysis from an expert, and, well, the expert has a pretty grim view of the situation. And these analysts suspect Pakistan of cooperating with the US in weakening Iran. Even its hosting of Pezeshkian could be for this very reason. Meanwhile, we're also hearing other news from Iran. Some, nearly 2,000 clerics at the Qom Center, have once again reinforced the fatwa for Trump's assassination. They declared that Trump's blood, life and property are permissible to take. And of course, the threats against Trump were what provoked his anger. He said they should no longer chant death to America and death to Israel. All these signs indicate that the situation in the region and the world is moving more toward war and conflict than toward peace and calm.
Zahrin, in your opinion, what is the purpose behind Pakistan's double and multiple games in the region? Do you think, to put it simply, that it wants to become America's favorite country in the region?
Well, in the past, it has always tried to do just that. The